Big shout out to the Spa Spot in Grand Prairie. My wife and I walked in there mid-February, said we want to be hot tubbing by St. Patty's Day, and they made it happen. Great news, everybody. We are going weekly. We got brand new episodes coming out every Monday in May, and we plan on keeping that going. So subscribe and enjoy. On this episode, we have some upcoming events, and Mariah tells us about M3M Studios. Enjoy.
Did you know Grande Prairie has its own secret garden? It's true, Elaine's unique plants and designs. If you love plants, you need to stop in and shop around. Located on the parking lot side of the farmers market, open 5 days a week.
And now for upcoming events in the Peace Country.
2024 Cash for Camping Lottery is ongoing until July 28th. The Playhouse Raffle is ongoing for the Center of Young Parents until July 25th. Grand Prairie is hosting the 2024 National Aboriginal Hockey Championship May 5th to the 11th. Foreigner is playing at the Ovintiv Event Center on May 6th on their Farewell Canada Tour. On May 8th, St. Joe's Catholic High School will be hosting the Champions Mindset with Bridget Lequit. I think I got that right. She's an Olympic hockey player. Here's Dalen from the Grain Bin Brewing Company to tell you about an event going on there. On May the 11th, you have a patio party?
We do. So we work with the fine folks at Freshly Squeezed and try to do as many kind of fun collaborative parties as possible. But yeah, Saturday, May the 11th, we are having a patio party. There's going to be tons of music, food, games, and a really good time. So make sure you check out their social media, our social media. You can get tickets for the event beforehand. There will be tickets at the door as well.
There'll be a City Council meeting on May 21st. On May 25th, IG Health Management Walk for Alzheimer's. The 2024 Grand Prairie Stompede will be happening May 29th to June 2nd. Young at Art Photo Contest is ongoing. Deadline is Saturday, May 31st. The Peace Region Energy Show is going on at Evergreen Park, May 15th to the 16th. The 10th Annual Webster Show and Shine will be happening at the Community Hall on May 25th. On June 15th, Petra is playing at the People's Church. Jet Boat Racing Canada is coming to the Peace this summer. The race dates are Grand Prairie, Alberta, June 14th to the 16th. Hay River, Northwest Territories, June 21st to the 23rd. Taylor, BC, June 28th to the 30th. And Peace River, Alberta, July 5th to the 7th. 2024 TP Creek Stampede will be happening July 11th to the 14th. On June 18th, Clint Black will be at the Ovintiv Event Center. At Better Than Fred's on June 14th, Finger 11. Tickets are $45 in advance. Friday, January 5th, The Lazies. Tickets are $25 in advance. August 10th, Biff Naked will be playing, $40 in advance. Find out more at Better Than Fred's. The Hat-tastic 40 Plus Parade will be happening on July 8th from 11 till 2, starting at 100th Avenue and 99th Street. July 27th to 28th, the Grand Prairie Regional Air Show. Tickets coming soon. And don't forget the last Thursday of every month at 92 Beverage Company, Cocktails and Vinyl. And Kokanee Comedy Night at the Great Northern Casino every Wednesday.
If you have an event coming up and would like us to share on PcP, let us know at peacecountrypodcast@gmail.com.
And now it's time for We Got It at Manic.
Today we're talking about Billy Talent's self-titled album. It came out in 2003 on the Atlantic record. It's an amazing album. My favorite song on this album is Lies. It's basically just about being overwhelmed with emotional stress. It's a great song. If you haven't heard it, check it out. Another deadly song on this album would be The River Below. And if you get into that song, check out Voices of Violence. I would say that if you haven't heard them, check them out. They're a great Canadian band. They actually made it worldwide. We have it here at the shop. If you ever need a copy, come and check us out.
We got it at Manic Records. Check us out at the Prairie Plaza, next to Audio Concepts.
Public service announcement.
Spring is definitely here in the Peace Country, but it's not May 24 yet, so snow is always a threat. Do not put away your winter gear until after May 24th long weekend. It happens every year. Everyone seems to be surprised. Don't be that person. Be ready.
This has been a Peace Country Podcast public service announcement.
And now for the Peace Country Spotlight.
We are here at M3M Studios with Mariah. Mariah, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me here.
Thanks for being here. So let's just get into it. Tell us about M3M Marketing.
So M3M Marketing is a marketing agency. We are located in Grand Prairie, Alberta. And we also own a creative rental studio, which is M3M Studios, which we opened just this past September.
So you've opened in September. How has it been so far?
For the studio side, we opened in September. When we started the marketing agency, it was 2017. And the community has been tremendously responsive to the studio opening. It's just been this nice expansion piece to kind of offer more to our community.
What did you do before you opened the studio?
Well, before I owned M3M Marketing, before I kind of went full-time entrepreneur anyways, what I did was I worked in radio. I, got my start right out of school. So I went to GPRC to do my business administration diploma. After that, I went into radio, did some sales there at Today FM. And then I worked for the municipality for a contract. And then I went over to GPRC, which is now NWP, Northwestern Polytechnic, for 4 years. And then I also went back to the city for another contract before taking the leap into full-time entrepreneurship in 2022.
Did you work with Grant Berg?
Yeah, Grant Berg was my general manager when I worked at Today FM. I consider him a mentor and just a huge supporter of my career path. He's a wonderful, wonderful guy. And if you've never been to Grant Berg Gallery, please go do yourself a favor. Go check it out. Canadian artists in there, and they're just so great. I always leave there going, I want that painting, or I want that print, that Robbie Craig print, or whatever I can afford, right? So there's some really high quality stuff in there.
Yeah, we had him on the show. He's a really nice guy.
Cool.
So what made you decide to open a marketing studio?
I actually didn't plan this at all. So I kind of call myself an accidental entrepreneur because when I was in school, I just loved helping people. I loved using the skills that I learned in college and being able to just go out there and help people. And it was mostly on like just I'll help you out with this event you're trying to promote, or I'll do this little social media graphic for you. And it was just out of wanting to help and wanting to see something I created out there in the world and making an impact for somebody else. And so eventually, I would be working at a coffee shop on my weekends. So I'd work the day job. On the weekends, I'd start going to this coffee shop to volunteer for these people. And all of a sudden, some of the people are like, I think you're doing a bit much work. I think we might need to start paying you for this stuff. Like, what would your rate be? And I was just like, rate? Like, what are you talking about here, right? Like, I just wanted to help you. And so, I came up with something. Like, it was probably not what I should be charging, but it kind of grew from there. I just started to get referrals. And it was just me as a solopreneur, just my name. And then after, about 8 to 12 months, I was kind of like, okay, maybe I should name this thing because it's kind of become a business now. Like, people are calling me wondering if I can help them and all these things. And, all of a sudden I was spending a Saturday at the coffee shop, then it was Saturday and Sunday, and then all of a sudden it was my weekday evenings that I had to work on some stuff. So it really just spiraled from there. And then, after going full-time entrepreneurship in 2022, I just couldn't sit still for some reason. I don't know what I was thinking, but, I was trying to do a commercial. I was trying to voice a commercial for a project that I got. And I had a little office in the 214 place. I was just sharing a space with another business, so I couldn't control the AC. I couldn't control the noise. Things just weren't happening very well when I was voicing this commercial. I could hear all this stuff going on. I'm like, how am I going to do this? Like, I need to get this project done. And I just said to myself, I wish there was a spot we can just go and voice a quick commercial where there's some sound dampening and some equipment we could access really quickly. And then I thought, well, you wouldn't stop there. You wouldn't just make an audio booth. You would make a photography space and videography space and maybe a podcast room. So in 2023, I started looking for spaces and started dreaming up M3M Studios. And here we are today, in operation for over six months, since September of 2023, and we're April 2024 now. And it's just been great. It's I have a passion for creating content and helping people bring their visions to kind of life, and this studio allows them to access that at an affordable rate and try things on their own and explore their own creative disciplines. So yeah, that's kind of how it all started.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to rent this room out a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, it's made for people like you to just be able to come in. You have extra staff at the front, right, to like watch the door while you're getting your stuff set up and your guests are on their way, right? It's really made to be convenient for you, and you can access the equipment if you don't want to invest in equipment, and anyone can come in and just create a little bit of content if they so wish.
What all services do you offer?
We've got 4 studios you can rent. So you've got the podcast room, you've got the cyclorama, which is a completely curved white wall space. It's kind of like that seamless background. When you stand in it, it just looks like an infinite space. That's the whole point of it. It's called a cyc wall, cyclorama, or an infinity wall, depending on who you're talking to, but we call it a cyclorama wall. It's completely white, 21 feet wide, 11 feet deep, so you can create sets in there, portraits, video training. We had some students come in and do a music video the other week, which was fantastic. And so we also have 2 others. So the photography backdrop. So we have colored backgrounds that you can use. So, neutrals to different colors, and we can order in special colors for you too. And then of course our audio recording booth, that's where the idea started, right? And it's just it's a small little booth that can hold maybe 2 people. You can do voiceovers for commercials, ASMR, audiobooks. We had somebody who came in here who was part of a film, and it was shot somewhere else, and the producer had called and said, hey, we need this audio. And she's like, oh my goodness, where am I going to go to record this? I'm in Grand Prairie, Alberta. Like, we don't have studios here, right? And then their friend was like, actually, M3M Studios just opened, and we had her in and out in like 20 minutes. It was awesome. So we also do creative consulting. So if you have an idea for like a podcast or a creative shoot, like for photography or videography, you can come in and talk to me, and I can help you kind of map that out and kind of develop that idea a little bit. I've helped develop other people's podcasts as well. So, and I have the skills because I come from also a background of doing some indie filmmaking, some documentary filmmaking, a little bit of narrative work too, just dabbled in the narrative work. And then also we offer in-house equipment rentals and production support. So say you're a photographer, you came in here, you have a bunch of products to shoot, but you want a little extra help to maybe swap out all the products and get them all set up for yourself. We can come in and actually provide you with that additional support, because a lot of these creatives are solopreneurs, right? They don't have the resources to hire people on or vet them, really. Yeah. So if we have people that are able to do that, and you just need that extra support, you can pay for that, It's just a little extra add-on, and it makes your shoot go a lot smoother. The idea is that there's tons of photographers in town and in the region, and different creatives, and they're not all going to build a studio, because guess what? Building a studio is super expensive. I know. I really know. And, I'm not going to use it all the time. So why not allow the community to come in and create their own content and use it, right? And really support the growth of this industry.
So how do you advertise?
Well, I'm out there in the community a lot. I love networking, and you'll see that through a lot of the stuff that we've been doing in our marketing too, is we throw a lot of events, community events. We want to engage with the community. So whether I'm going out to other events that are going on or kind of creating them in-house here, I would say probably event marketing is probably something that we're definitely engaged with. Social media is really great. Our website, word of mouth, I think in our region is tremendously strong. And all your other marketing assets kind of contribute to that message. So yeah, I think if anything, we're really strong in the networking and social media, video content. Lately, I've been really leaning into with the studio, especially because there's so many new concepts, and it's so hard to kind of communicate to people what this is unless you come here and see it, even with photos and videos, to be honest. Like, people come in here and it creates an atmosphere, right? You feel different. You want to imagine what you can do. So our main advertising is trying to get people into this studio and getting them engaged in this industry. Yeah, that's really what we've been doing.
So is there someone or another business that helped you along the way?
There's just been so many people who have supported me. It's really hard to narrow it down to a few, but I look back to my college days, and there were some key instructors like Sibylla Rakestraw and Bill Corcoran. They really supported my journey as I entered into this industry, and some of those business owners who I helped for free at the start, and then would share with all their friends about my business, like Sami and other people. Grant Berg, of course, being one of my first jobs out of school. He's a huge mentor to me, and I'm so happy to have him as a friend now. And also David, my mentor, when I was at the city of Grand Prairie, when I first got my first municipal job. That was pretty cool. And then also when I entered the indie film world, there were some people that really opened some doors for me, whether it was my instructor, David McGregor, teaching me about video production, and Rue Jones, who invited me on their Story Hive sets and has always just like supported me, and Wendy Hyman, rest in peace, of course. She passed away this past year, and I never met her in person, but I was connected with her through Story Hive. She was my mentor when I did my film Able. Just really my cheerleader, and there's so many cheerleaders out there for me, like Beth Goldie. She's my number one cheerleader out there. She's just a community person, a retired teacher, and I've helped her with some projects, but she's a huge cheerleader for me. And there's just lots of businesses we've collaborated with too, that it really makes a big difference when people say, hey, I support you, and they show you those actions by connecting you with people that then lead to even more.
What is your favorite part about running a business in Grand Prairie?
I think the business community is really great. You can go out to networking events or engagements out in the community, and people are just very nice, kind, wanting to help, wanting to collaborate. The energy in the entrepreneur space is just, it's nice. And it's nice to feel supported and know that, we all share that common thing of like, we're entrepreneurs, we're in business, we're trying to make differences in people's lives and create something big, have employees, those kind of things. So I think that's probably one of my favorite parts.
So obviously giving back to the community is important to you?
Absolutely. I mean, you're talking to me on a good day, because yesterday we had the headshots and handshakes mixer, and we did it all in support of the NWP Students Association, so the Northwestern Polytechnic Students Association, and we basically got people to sign up to get their headshots done and come network with people, and all the money is going to them. So for the Room of Plenty, giving back to the community is huge. The community has made me successful, so why wouldn't I give back to the community? And there's so many great causes out there that we can give to, but you know, NWP is one that holds a special place in my heart, because that's where this whole thing started. If I didn't go to business school and get the excellent education that I did at our local college, then this wouldn't exist. I wouldn't be sitting here with you doing this podcast. So there's a lot to give back for. And I don't know if I could ever do enough to give enough back, to be honest, because it means the world, and it makes a big impact on people's lives.
How would I sign up for one of your mixers?
You can just go to our website, m3mstudios.ca/events, and you'll see all the events there. Our next one is June 6th, and it's free. So we welcome up to 25 people to our creative networking mixers.
How do you see the future of your business?
Yeah, so it's a little bit more of that development of the creative industry in Northwestern Alberta. It's also engaging with youth to show them that, hey, you live in Grand Prairie, northern community, you can have a creative career path. Like, look at me, look at this person who's doing this interesting thing. And you could still have a day job and do that too if you want. That is something that I'm gonna work on, is certainly engaging with youth, getting youth into this studio environment, showing them and exposing to them what that might look like. When we went to the Youth Career Discovery Expo, we had like a live podcast set up. So we had the headphones, we had our mic stands, and they would sit in the chair and they could hear themselves talk, and they loved it. And believe me, whenever I go into classrooms and do presentations, the kids are always saying, I want to be a YouTuber. You know, they're wanting to get into this stuff, and we need to give them that exposure to that industry. So that's what I'm going to be working on in the future for sure.
That sounds awesome. I would love to get my son into like a summer camp where they're actually working on media type thing, maybe working towards YouTube or something.
100%. It's definitely something I'm thinking about. You know, this first year as the studio, it's like we've got like a mountain to climb, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, can I pull that off? Like, but we'll see. Stay tuned for that one.
So what are your hours of operation?
So we're open by appointment, the studio, you know, whenever you want your rental to be. That's kind of what we'll make happen for you. You know, the marketing agency is just regular business hours, like a 8:30 to 5 kind of thing, but we'll work weekends and all sorts of times for our clients because we need to capture their content for them. So whenever that happens, we're located downtown, right between Bama Furniture and Shepherd's Fold, right on 100th Ave there. So come check us out, book a tour, come see it for yourself. Don't just listen to this and be like, oh yeah, I know all about M3M Studios. Come see it, okay?
Well, thank you very much for taking the time and letting us get to know you a little bit.
You bet. Thank you so much, Doug.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Cats and coffee are my two favorite things.
Come to Whiskers Cafe for the coffee and stay for the cats.
This podcast only works because you listen. So thank you for listening.
What would you like to hear on PCP? Let us know by email, peacecountrypodcast@gmail.com.
22 Media.